Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today we're taking a look at Rotom Box Post Rotation. This was a list asked for me by Kozol Adam, I hope I'm saying that right, and he wanted me to take a look at a Post Rotation version of Rotom Box, and well, as the genie from Aladdin would say, your wish is my command. But don't worry, you ain't got 2 wishes left, I'm not that sort of genie. If you do have any deck requests, of course, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Obviously, you know, I do appreciate people leaving comments and everything, it does support the algorithm. And obviously, do share the video with your friends, because it does help support the channel. And I'm hoping to hit 100 subscribers, because I do want to start a Discord server. And obviously, you know, I can help people out with, obviously, you know, deck lists and things like that. So, let me know. And obviously, you know, hopefully we can obviously grow to 100 subscribers sometime soon. So, as per usual, in the description below, there's going to be usual links. Double the deck list, which is also available to copy in the description below. There's the games that we'll play, and of course, the outro and what I think of the deck. So, this is where I need to talk about this deck a little bit, because I've got a bit more of a conventional sort of route, which I think makes sense. Obviously, we're playing 4 copies of this Psychic Rotom. There's a good reason for that. We are going to be focusing on trying to get Rotocall turn 1. Obviously, ideally we want to go to second, because then we can play Crispin, get some energies onto the board, Rotocall, and just start, you know, doing stuff. Now, there's only one issue with this deck, is it is quite difficult to find tools. Obviously, we do play the likes of Team Rocket's Petrel, but, you know, it's quite tricky to find tools, even with Treasure Tracker as our A spec, so I've decided to keep it as our A spec. And, I must admit, like, unless we're hitting for weakness, which, to be fair, weakness is becoming a lot more prevalent in TCG right now, we are going to struggle in terms of getting damage output, so we're going to be relying on weakness a lot. Which is why I've decided to go for the 4 Psychic Rotom, because obviously there's a lot of Lucario running around. But also I've decided to keep 1 copy of the Clefairy, because, well, we kind of need to have this as not only a backup attacker, but it means that we can actually smack Dragapult around the face, and hopefully have a good time against it. Obviously we do have the likes of Psyduck in here. We don't have Shaymin, because I'm hoping we don't run into the likes of Terrabox. But also, it's more common to run into Dusknoir than it is, you know, a Wellspring Mascogapon. Probably going to eat my words by the end of this video, no Marlock, but still, you could try and fit into Shaymin. Obviously, there is room in the list to do so, but the main thing that I've been really reluctant about this list with is just the fact that it just doesn't feel as consistent as it did before. Which isn't the deck's fault, you know. Losing Arven was quite a big thing. Obviously, we do have the budget Arven, which is Team Rocket's Petrel. But obviously this only grabs us 1 trainer card, not 2. Obviously in the case of Arven, it grabbed a item and a tool card, which means you could grab a tool card plus treasure tracker for turn, so that would be 6 tools immediately in play. Whereas this, you can only grab the treasure tracker, and obviously you can't really grab anything else. Obviously you can use Team Rocket's Petrel to grab other things, but ideally we want to be using this to grab our treasure tracker. Obviously I've upped the Lucky Helmet count to 3, just made sense, because obviously we need to draw. And I've also chucked in 4 copies of the Counter Gain. Originally, I was quite brave not playing these, and, well, I think because of how much slower we are, because we don't have Turbo Energize, we've lost Mela as well, so Fire Energy in this list doesn't really matter, but I decided to keep it anyway. And, yeah, this is a way we're going to just try and get around that, to be brutally honest. But, honestly, this is... you know, this is workable. It's just, I don't think this is the 60 I would go with. Obviously, leave your thoughts in the comments below and everything like that, but I'm not 100% on this 60. But I wanted to, you know, get a video out for Rotom Box Post Rotation, so that way, you know, we can at least take a look at it, and maybe we could work on it together in a Discord server in the future. Anywho, let's get into a match. Well, let's get into the deck list first, before I even think about doing a match, and I'll see you shortly. And welcome to the deck list. As I said, this is going to be something where, like, you know, the counts of the Rotoms can change, you know, the overall, you know, tools, and obviously, you know, in this case I'm running Hand Disruption, obviously with Harlequin. You know, these things can change, and I'm not, as I said, I'm not sold on this 60. It's been alright in testing, but I think we need to focus more on the weakness side, because weakness is actually quite prevalent right now. Obviously, you know, Psychic is obviously hitting Lucario for weakness, which is quite key. Grass is obviously hitting Mega Zygarde and other grass-sweet Pokemon that are, you know, around in the format. Fire is obviously dealing with, you know, the Mega Venusaur, Teal'c Gogapon. And, you know, Wash Rotom is dealing with Mega Charizard if that ever pops up again, because people are not playing it from what I've seen. I will say, if you want to play it a bit more safe, you can obviously, you know, keep up the Mow Rotom count as well, and keep these guys at a 1 count, because they're less likely to be, you know, relevant. But obviously with Heat Rotom, you can obviously deal with the likes of Teal'c Gogapon and other Pokemon like that. There could even be room for a Moltres in this list, just so you have extra options in Grass Week or Fire Week matchups, you know, against like Metal Pokemon and obviously Grass Pokemon. Maybe a one-up Moltres could be a cheap backup attacker for this list, because even though it would only be able to carry 1 tool, well, we play Clefairy, so Clefairy takes a tool anyway, and same with Fez. If we have to bench these guys, they can take a tool card, so it's not the end of the world, but obviously with only 6 available bench, well, 1 in the active and obviously 5 on the bench, we do need to consider that if obviously we need to be getting damage output. Now, one critical Pokemon you'll be noticing is not in this list anymore is the Lightning Rotom, as in the single prize Rotom. I decided not to play that one. I don't think you need it per se, but you can play it. I'm not saying you can't, I just don't think it's too relevant. Obviously, Mega Feraligatr is not really seeing the light of day. When Mega Greninja comes out, however, you're going to want to play it, because that thing is scary. And, well, Battle Cage will help against, you know, obviously, you know, its abilities and stuff like that. But, yeah, going forward, we will need to play a Lightning Rotom, but that's not till, you know, Mega Greninja comes out, because I don't think you need to play one in the meantime. So, of course, we're playing 4 Psychic Rotom, 2 Rotom EX, 2 Mow Rotoms, 1 Lillie Clefairy, 1 Heat Rotom, 1 Wash Rotom, 1 Psyduck, and 1 Fez. Like I said, the Moltres and also the Lightning Rotom could potentially be candidates. It's just what do you cut for it is the main thing I've been struggling with. Of course, our draw supporters are, well, our supporters in general are 4 Lillies, 2 Crispin, because obviously we do not have Turbo Energize anymore. We need to lean a bit more to Crispin. 2 Boss, 2 Team Rocket's Petrel to obviously grab ourselves a treasure tracker in the moment we need it. 2 Harlequin for a little bit of hand disruption and also extra draw per se. 4 Pokégear, 2 Buddy-Buddy Poffin, 2 Night Stretcher, which I think we need a third, but, you know, again, you've got to make room for it. Then, of course, 1 treasure tracker as a race spec, 1 Ultra Ball to obviously find Clefairy, Rotom, and Fez. 4 Bangles, 4 Counter Gains, 3 Air Balloons, 3 Lucky Helmets, 2 Battle Cage, 3 Psychic, 3 Fire, 3 Lightning. If you wanted to lead into, you know, the Moltres idea with obviously the Lightning Rotom, you could definitely cut this Lightning energy down to probably 2, maybe even 1, or you can cut down something like the Harlequin, because at the end of the day, you'd obviously want a third. I think you need a third Night Stretcher in this list. That's just my opinion. But like I said, maybe the Moltres idea, because obviously we are sticking with the fires. I mean, it doesn't really matter what basic energy you run. You know, Singe is not exactly a relevant attack, neither is Manual Wash or Trimming Mower. But, you know, like, the fact that the Psychic Rotom has such a good attack, it doesn't matter which energies we play. We just need to be playing Psychic for the Clefairy. You don't need to play Lightning for this Rotom, because it's not a very good attacker. You can if you want, I guess, but personally, I think the energies going forward should just be Psychic and Fires, because obviously with Fires, we could obviously play that Moltres, as I mentioned, and really just go from there, really. But I'm kind of hoping that obviously we can get that to work and everything. So, let's go to the match and see how we do. Welcome to our first game with Rotom Box. I'm looking forward to this. It's definitely a deck that, like I said, I've been tinkering with it for a couple of weeks now, even before rotation, when Adam asked me to take a look at this deck, and you know, it's been a fun little deck, but I don't think this is going to be very meta. Just by the way it, you know, runs everything, it's not good against Dragon Ball for obvious reasons. Lucario is actually okay. But, you know, we kind of want to get our board set up early and obviously use our attackers where relevant. But it can be pretty tricky. And we start off with a Mulligan, but they also do as well. Okay, we start the Psychic Rotom. And we're facing a Grass deck. Well, I'm not threatening to Heat Rotom straight away, because that's a dumb idea. This is where I'd love that Moltres idea, but again, that's just something I've been working on. So I'm going to do that, just so we have a little bit of extra protection in case we do get this Psychic Rotom immediately knocked out. And pass. We will need to Crispin, which is kind of bad, because obviously we didn't get energy down turn 1. But we can hopefully work with it. So let's see what we're facing. If we're facing something like Arboliva, yeah, we're screwed. There's a Badoo. That's fine. We can deal with a Badoo, because we just Crispin and take it out with Gadget Show. But to be fair, I'm probably just going to Roto Call. Roto Call lets us, you know, do our stuff. So yeah, it's probably going to be a Crispin, Roto Call, and then Lillie's next turn. That's probably going to be the idea here. Getting another Teal Dance in, that's fine, because obviously we can Crispin 1 energy to the Heat Rotom and obviously 1 to the Psychic Rotom. We've got a Bug Catching set again. I'm thankfully seeing no evidence of Arboliva, which is good, but we do need to be considerate. Obviously they can go for a Retreat here and obviously Item Lockers, but I'm not too worried about that. They're going to attach the Ogapon. Do they have an Energy Switch? No. That's fine though, we can deal with that. There's a Dawn. This will give us an idea of what we're facing. I smell Arboliva myself, and yep, it's Arboliva. This is going to be rough. I've just hit myself in the head. Well, I've just hit my headphones. Yeah, this is not good. This is not good. But we do get a draw, which is nice. Because obviously it is by damage from an attack. Well, we can't play that Buddy Poffin, but we don't need to. So I'm just going to grab... It's not really relevant what I grab. I'm just going to grab these. Put the fire here. Lightning here. Do that. And we will Roto Call. So we want... Well, we obviously need to keep Heat Rotom down. So I want a Rotom EX. I want a Psychic Rotom. I will take one of the Grass Rotoms. Because it's highly likely we're going to lose this Rotom. Possibly one of the other Rotoms. But he could just keep Badooing, which if he does that, I'm fine with that, because I can Lillies for turn. And obviously we can start, you know, up trading into, you know, 2 prizes with everything. But obviously this item lock is going to be a problem, but we can deal with it as long as we keep our energy up, which is going to be the hard thing. We only need 4 energy to take out, well, 4 tool cards down to take out a Teal Mask Ogapon, and we need 6 for a Arboliva, but obviously Arboliva can just decimate our board, and there's not much I can do about it. I mean, if we find, obviously, you know, Battle Cage, that'll... In fact, no, Battle Cage won't stop it, but yeah, this is not great. At least we can Lillies and obviously get a fresh hand, and we can maybe take a first prize. But yeah, this is definitely a tough matchup. There's a Meowth, so what are they going to do with that? Do they have, like, Tenacity? No, they're going to grab a Lillies. That's good, though, because we can potentially go 1, 2, 2, and then, you know, we can take out a Meowth, because it's cheaper to kill a Meowth. But obviously, with Heat Rotom, we want to be using that in this early game. There's Forest, so they can get the Arboliva. Oh, no, that's not good. Okay, they whiff it. That's fine. I mean, they could go... I mean, to be fair, it's not a major deal, because like, we don't have to worry about it, but they can obviously get a Chikorita down now, which is exactly what they're going to do. Yeah, this is not looking good. They can get the Bayleaf. They can even go for a tackle for 40 with Olive if they want, but it won't KO me. They have to put up a Teal Mask. That's the major thing, but obviously we will need to recycle this Heat Rotom in a late game. And no, they're just going to Itchy Pollen. Which obviously gets us a draw. We can't use that Night Stretcher, but we can most definitely use that Counter Gain. So, I'm going to put this here, and we're going to Lillies. Okay, there's an energy. Excellent. We'll Air Balloon you. We will then attach Lightning for turn onto the Rotom. Probably should have attached Psychic in case we need to, you know, shuffle stuff. And yeah, we're just going to Gadget Show for 120. Take out the Badoo. Obviously, at this point, it is not looking great, because obviously they do have Arboliva. But what that does mean is this Counter Gain gets more value when they do bring up the Arboliva. That's if they choose to, obviously. Because if they do use Arboliva, we can obviously take it out with less energy requirement on the Heat Rotom. Because they'll take out this Rotom, they'll probably take out another Rotom, well, Psychic Rotom, and then they'll probably, you know, spread another 20 damage on, like, the Heat Rotom or something. They're going to boss. They're probably going to take out the Heat Rotom. No, they're going to take out the Rotom EX. Okay, that's fine. They have the Teal Dance. I mean, they didn't need... I don't think they need to Teal Dance for this knockout. In fact, no, they do. 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180. Yeah, they needed to Teal Dance there, but that's fine, because obviously we can respond with the Heat Rotom. And we do have a Bangle on it, so that's going to be very useful going forward. But this is what I mean, like, we're relying a lot on weakness, and I'm not sure if I like that myself, but I would like, as I said, I would like the Moltres in here for this sort of backup. Because if we had the Moltres, it would be very much a smooth sailing sort of match, but, well, I say smooth sailing, it wouldn't be, but, you know. So, let's go for attach to you, attach to you. I'll go for a Lillie's. There's a reason why I'm leaving that bench space open. And that is pretty much why. Now, I am tempted to just leave the Fez on the hand and not put down this Rotom. I don't need to put down another Rotom yet. Because obviously all of my Rotoms that I needed have tools on them. So I'm pretty happy with that. And obviously the Bangle is giving us an extra 30. I'm going to thin this because I don't need it. And yeah, I think I just swing here for 300 and take out the Teal Mask. Obviously, going forward, we will need to obviously put down that Rotom EX, but we can live with that. As long as we're keeping up, you know, energy attachments every single turn, we should be okay. But obviously, the Arbor is probably going to come out this turn and make my life a living hell, because, well, they can obviously take out my guys and stuff, and that's kind of the problem. If they take out the Heat Rotom and the Psychic Rotom with the 20 damage on it, we are probably in a bad position. I don't even think I can get to that. Obviously, we got rid of that Air Balloon earlier. Yeah, because obviously this does 6. This does 6 across the board, so like you can pick multiple targets twice. Oh no, he plays Stamp. Oh no. Oh, if I'd have known he played Stamp, I'd have put Fez down. Oh, this is bad. And we just draw into energy. Yeah, we just lose here. Like, even with Shaymin, this is still a bad matchup, even with the Heat Rotom, because they can just focus down the Heat Rotom, and obviously we only put 1, so yeah, this is rough. And they can even go for a Roma shot if they want to do something funny to finish me off, but yeah, they're about to take, well, they need to put 4 here, and then they need to put 2 lots here, so yeah, they even play Energy Switch. There's nothing I can do here. They're going to take out the Heat Rotom, take out the Rotom on the bench, which this will not trigger because it requires it to be in the active spot. So yeah, this is not looking good. This is, matter of fact, looking very bad. Interesting. He did not take out the Heat Rotom. Either way, we need a top deck of a miracle. And that is not it. We are doing a grand total of 180 damage. I will concede. I did not expect the unfair stamp. If I'd have known that the unfair stamp was coming down, I would have obviously gone for, you know, the Fez bench, which probably would have helped us a little bit, but yeah, that matchup is rough, and well, even with fire weakness, we just can't win that matchup. But yeah, let's go to a game 2. And welcome back to game 2. That did not go too great. Definitely paying the price for playing a Shaymin, but again, it's just finding a room for everything, you know, like there's a lot of consideration when it comes to this list. And obviously we need to play a high counter tools anyway, so it's really tricky to actually get this list to be consistent and still have, you know, the damage output. But I think maybe we could get away with playing less tools, because at the minute we're playing like 12, 13 tools. We could probably play like 8 to 9, and we can play, you know, more techs. Obviously, you know, we can, well, I'm about to demonstrate what we can definitely do, because we're going second. But, you know, like, we can definitely get that, you know, streak going. We can just go straight for it. I mean, we could even go for Petrel and get tools now, but, like, You know, we can Rotocall, we can obviously, you know, Pokégear, maybe even find a Crispin, which could be beneficial. You know, we have a lot of options, but I think this deck, in order to be meta relevant, needs to lean more into the weakness side. And that's another Badoo start. Okay, that's fine by me. Let's see what we're facing against. I mean, the sleeves, that smells to me Zygarde, but given they've just benched a Monkey Dory and attached a Darkness Energy, I don't think so. And no, that's fine. And a second Lillies I won't complain about, so we're just going to go straight for the Lillies. Okay, well we're going to do that so we actually have options. And we will Rotocall. Let's get the boys down. I'm going to assume we're going to need another Psychic Rotom. We're going to need you. I'm going to get you just in case. And I'll just grab another Psychic Rotom and leave the bench space for potentially Fez. Or Psyduck, because we might need Psyduck. But there we go. Not a bad one. That's why I leaned more into this Psychic Rotom. It's so good. It's just so good going forward. I'm smelling Pult, though, and I'm not happy about that. Pokepads, this will tell us. No, this is a Frostlass Monkey Dory deck. Okay. We can... I would say we can deal with it, but we really can't. There's your Veltal. And they're just going to Itchy Pollen. Fine. That's so great with me. And we draw an extra 2 cards because of it. Alright. I'm going to put that here. I'm going to put that here in case they try and trap us. I'm going to attach a Psychic Energy. And I will Petrel for a Crispin. Which we can use next turn. And I'll just Gadget Show for 90, taking a Badoo. Obviously, Rotom is Dark Weak, so we will need to be careful. Because, obviously, if he goes for Yveltal plus a Monkey Dory ping with, obviously, you know, Frostlass, once he eventually sets that up, this Rotom will go down. So that's just something to bear in mind. And they're playing Mega Starmie as well. Yeah, I'm really regretting not putting a Shaymin in this list, am I? Like, it's like everyone has their text for me today. You know, it's like you don't play... You know, you choose not to play a Shaymin, and then you run into Mega Starmie, you know, you run into, what's it called, Arbeliever, like, bruh, like, come on. And looks like he's going for a boss. Does he forget I can attack with pretty much anything in this deck? He's going to bring up the Rotom EX. You are aware I can attack with this, right? I did just grab a Crispin off the Petrel. And I don't think you realised it, my friend. Obviously, we need to be careful of Mega Frostlass, but that's something I can live with. So, we'll pop you there. Pop you there. I can at least play the items down. Night Stretcher we can't use, but we can play the Pokégear just to thin it. Because I'm playing around their potential Mega Frostlass, that's why I'm doing this. So then we'll Crispin. And we are literally just going to Thunderbolt your ass in the face. Which, ironically, we do hit you for weakness. But, yeah, I'll take a nice easy prize card. Thank you very much. There's Battle Cage. We're going to need that. And there's Meowth being promoted. But obviously it does have an Air Balloon. See, even with the Frostlass coming down now, that is actually going to make it very easy for us. Larry's Skill. I remember the first time I saw this card on this channel, and I mocked it. Now it's actually pretty good with how good it is, you know? It's very strong, it's very, you know, consistent with its, you know, abilities and stuff. I've even seen it being mentioned in, you know, what's it called? Marnie's Grimmsnarl. So there is a lot of, you know, potential there. So if you heard like a jingle just then, there's a, for some reason it's like, what, it's like 22 degrees in the UK? In fact, it's not even that. I think it's less than that. Let me check whilst my opponent chooses their Larry's Skill target. It's 10 degrees and there's an ice cream van running around. Do not ask me why. I really don't think we need to obviously have ice cream vans running around at this time of the year, because it's not really needed. Okay, so I've got to remember what this does. Pokemon Supporter Basic Energy. They're already down a dark... Did they just fail Larry's Skill? Or have they just rage quit? I think they just failed it, or they've just rage quit. They've got to have rage quit. You do not fail Larry's skill. Maybe he made a mistake evolving this into a normal Frostlass. He should have evolved this into a Mega. It'd have been a lot easier, well, a lot more difficult for me to deal with a Mega. I think he's rage quit, folks, because he's not doing any actions. He has no cards in hand, and he has nothing else left to do in his turn. I think he's prized something important in this matchup. I don't think he expected me to have Lightning Energy in this list. Which, you know, that does argue the point of keeping Lightning Energy, but yeah, I think my opponent has pretty much conceded the match, and yeah, we can't really do much about that. But I mean, I'll take the win. It's just, you know, I'd rather do it, you know, with a full-on brawl. But at least I get to take out this Meowth with, you know, the Psychic Rotom. And there we go, Freezing Shroud. That is fine. Even if we only had 5 tools down, we'd be fine. And there's Harlequin. So we're going to attach the Lightning Energy, retreat into the Rotom, put down the Battle Cage. I do actually want to shuffle one of those Lightnings back into the deck, so that could be a Crispin target later. And we will Harlequin. Obviously, they don't need to shuffle, but they're only getting 3 cards anyway. Nice. Good, good, good. So how much damage am I doing? Yep, he's just going to scoop it up. I did have the Brave Bangle there to attach to the Rotom in the active. I'll take that, you know. They tried to obviously clutch us on the Rotom EX, and, well, unfortunately, mate, I play Lightning Energy, so nice try. Let's go to a Game 2. Or Game 3, sorry. And welcome back to Game 3. I'm pretty happy with how that game went. So we put the early pressure on, which was the key thing. And, well, I've never seen someone fail Larry's skill, but apparently he needed to. I'm really paying the price for not playing a Shaymin, so play a Shaymin, please, because I didn't think I'd need one, but apparently Arboliva and Mega Starmie is running all over the place. Let's hope we actually get a matchup where we can, you know, utilize weakness a little bit more. But let's see. Obviously, we did get to use weakness in the first game and technically the second game with the Yveltal, but still. Okay, I will definitely take that start. That's a really good start. We're going to mulligan. Lucario, excellent. We are Psychic, so we will take that. Obviously, we need to be very careful of their Solrock starts, because obviously they do like to start Solrock. But they do start the Meowth. Good. That's what we like to see. We do start the Psychic Roam, which obviously we can Roto Call. We can even Harlequin. And they're just going to scoop it up. I don't blame you. Like, this is a rough matchup for you. Their probably best bet is to obviously go in with the Solrock, but the moment they saw the Psychic Rotom, they just immediately conceded. Alright, Game 4 it is. And welcome back to Game 4. That was a very quick one, needless to say, because, yeah, Lucario, we pretty much body them, because obviously we do, fair enough, I say we body them, we don't really. It's more of a case of, you know, we can go 3-3 in terms of prize race. But yeah, that would have been a good matchup for us, because we have Clefairy, we have, you know, the Psychic Rotoms and everything like that. So we do have a lot of options. And speaking of, we are starting a Psychic Rotom. So that's always good. That's why we play 4 copies, because we always want to be starting this, and preferably an Energy or a Crispin in hand, which is why I'm playing Quad Pokégear. But yeah, I think this list could use a little bit of work, but you know what? It's been doing okay, I think. But I definitely think the Moltres package is worth considering. And once again, I am being punished for not playing a Shaymin. What the hell? Oh, this is a Dragapult Terra box. Ooh. Okay. That is bad for us, though, because Wellspring likes to body small Mimis. So, yeah. This is not good. Do they have a turn attachment? No. Okay, that's good. Maybe it could be my list. You don't know. You honestly don't know in this day and age. Did they grab a Noctowl off of that? They did. Do I Harlequin? Harlequin's greedy though. I'd rather get extra energy down. Yeah, I'm gonna Crispin. I think it's safer to Crispin. So we'll do that and Roto Call. So we will need, because it's pulled, we're going to need this, this, Probably play Teal Mask if it's my list. I doubt it's my list, because not many lists are like mine. I'm going to grab another Psychic Road, I think. I think that's the safest thing I do. And we just pass and hope for the best, because this is not good, to say the least. I could have obviously Harlequin, but I think that's a bit greedy, because obviously they're heavily likely playing, you know, Sparking Crystal as their ace spec. So they could just start putting immediate pressure on with the Wellspring Mask Ogerpon. But yeah, this is definitely like a pretty tough matchup for us. And there's Area 0, so Battle Cages are going to be needed. There's Noctowl. I heavily suspect they're going for the Crispin plus Sparkling Crystal, assuming they haven't prized it. Which, no my luck, they haven't. Yeah, this is why it should be... Like, have you noticed how whenever I don't put Shaymin in the deck, I get bodied by decks that, you know, feast on that. But the moment I play a Shaymin, I never use it. Sparkling Crystal on a boss, that means you've got Crispin in hand then, surely. Okay, Terra Orb. No, please do not. Oh no. They've got Rare Candy Pull Crystal. Please, for the love of Christ, whiff. Whiff. You still need a retreat option here. Whiff. Please whiff. There's the energy. Noctowl, that means they've got it. I should have Harlequin, but again, I don't know what they're playing. So they can go for... Well, they've not supported, have they? So they can go for, like, Brock Scouting or Serrano. Oh, boy. I'm being bodied by a Wellspring Dragapult deck. Great. I mean, on the plus side, our Wash Rotom is safe, per se. The problem is, of course, is we are going to be losing 2 Psychic Rotoms. But we are going to be getting draw from the Lucky Helmet, at the very least. So that's something. Okay, they've got Air Balloon, that's fine. So they've got Air Balloon to Wellspring, retreat into the Bolt, and completely body my ass. They've got a boss. They're going for the Rotom EX. Okay, not what I thought you'd do, but sure. Are you going to take out the Psychic Rotom with the 60 on it? With the Lightning Energy and the 60 HP? Because if you're spreading damage across the board, that feels a bit weird. I don't think it's correct. Yeah, he's taken out the Rotom EX and the Rotom on the bench. This is the problem. When you play an EX, which you need to play for your deck's build, and, you know, you have such a big liability against Pole, yeah, you just get bodied, and there's not much you can do about it. So let's go for a Lillies. Okay, that's not bad, actually. We can put down a Fez, because the Fez is key here. There's Counter Gain. That's pretty good. We can put that there. How much damage am I doing? 30. So, do that, do that, do that. I don't think I'm doing enough, even with, you know, multiple attachments of tools and stuff. I'm just not doing enough. Like, I'm doing 90 now, 120, 150, 180, 210. I mean, I need to do something, so I need to start, you know, putting stuff down. We will Treasure Tracker just to thin the deck. I'll grab this. I might as well grab another Counter Gain because I'm going to need it. I'm going to have to put it on one of these Rotoms. And I'll just thin Double Bangle. So I heavily doubt they play Dust Noir, but I'm going to put this down so I have an extra tool attachment. So we'll go you there, you there, you there. How much damage am I doing? 210 with no other energy in play, but I'll have to live with it. Gadget Show for 210, I guess. This is not good at all, because if they have Boss plus, like, Monkey Dory, we just lose here. They need Boss plus Monkey Dory and Dark Energy to just win this match. Because that's what they can do. There's Clefairy, so we need to be mindful of Clefairy. They probably do play a Monkey Dory, if I had to guess. Yeah, we can't win this. There's no way. You know, all they need is 2 energy on that Clefairy, and they just win. Or they just set up a second pole, which yeah, this, even with, you know, Psyduck, Shaymin, this would still be a bad matchup, because Shaymin would just stop. Shaymin doesn't stop Pult. It's only Battle Cage. And looks like they're playing a 3-3-2 line of Pult, so that's even worse for us. But, I mean, we can at least respond, at the very least, but, you know, we're not really doing a lot after that. Our hope now is we draw into an energy off of Fez, and then we can Harlequin them. That's our only hope. But, yeah, we're losing, once again, Wash Rotom, and we're losing another Psychic Rotom. So, yeah, not much to really say. To be really honest, this is just a rough matchup, because, well, even with a Shaymin, and even with Battle Cage, we would still lose this. And, once again, it proves that Pult gatekeeps basic decks, well, single price decks. But we already knew that. And, yep, they're going to take out the one with the Bangle. Fair enough. And like I said, they just literally need Crispin to win with Clefairy, so I'm just going to promote this one, because I can attack for basically free. There's a Lillie's. So like I said, we're going to Fez for 3. We do not get an energy, but do get a Battle Cage, which is useful. So we do get to take some Pokemon off their board. They're probably going to take off the Noctowls and stuff. They can even win with Fan Rotom as well, so Fan Rotom is also a threat. But, you know, again, what can I do? I can't really do a lot. I mean, I could have promoted the Heat Rotom, but they just need Boss and Energy at that point, so there's no, like, accurate, correct promote here, because all they need is Boss and an Energy. So, you know. I mean, we can't even Harlequin safely, because, you know, we didn't draw into an Energy, and we're already 3 energy down, and we only play 9, so we can't, like, afford to, you know, take too many risks. So yeah, we're just gonna go for the Crispin, and yeah, we only had 4 energy in deck, so that just proves my point. We'll attach the Heat, and we will just Gadget Show for 120, take out the Pult, and hope. I mean, they did get rid of Fan Rotom, so they could still not have it, but this is rough. I mean, we just got Lillie Clefairy off the prize cards, which is pretty good, but, you know, there's not a lot we can do when they just literally need Crispin on this Clefairy to win, and that's it. They just need a Crispin, and that's it. So let's see what they get off this Recon, because they're probably playing at least 3 Crispin, and I've not seen a single one. But yeah, this is the power of, you know, Dragapult Terra Box. It is a really powerful deck, and, you know, I should have thought about it, but I didn't. I am going to be doing an updated version of my version that I did. That will probably come this week. When obviously this video goes out, it will probably come this week that this video drops. But yeah, this is just a slaughter. If he doesn't have Noctowl plus a Crispin, and yeah, Ultra Ball gets him it. That gets him a Noctowl. Unless he's prized his last Noctowl, that'll be game. He's got Pult. He could have Crispin Pult as well. Crispin Pult would win him the game. There's the Pult. Did he recon with that one? I think he did. Yeah, he's got Crispin. I'm just going to scoop it up. GG's. That was a slaughter, even if we did have Shaymin, wouldn't have mattered. We needed to find Battle Cage, and we just didn't find it. That matchup is, once again, rough. But even with a Shaymin, we would have been bodied anyway, because, like I say, Pult goes through Shaymin. It's only Mist Energy that would stop that. And obviously, with Special Energy in a list like this, you don't really want to be playing them. They are pretty hard to find. But yeah, that went about as well as I expected, to be brutally honest. Like, I'm not saying, like, Rotom Box is a bad deck. I just think, you know, with Pult running around, Arboliva running around, you know, you can play all the techs you want. If they're focusing down your boys, not much you can do about it. So, that's the main thing you need to consider if you're going to play this deck. So, what do I think to the deck? I don't think this is a bad deck, you know. Like, I think it's just a fun little rogue deck that you maybe take to your locals. But I definitely don't think this will be a meta deck anytime soon. The issue of, you know, 60 HP Pokemon in a format where Pult still exists is most definitely an issue. Losing Turbo Energize and Arven was just such a huge blow to this deck, and even with, you know, the additions that we've done, we do still struggle. And obviously, you know, Counter Gain did help, as we saw, so I think if you are going to play this deck, you need 4 Counter Gain. There's no arguing or debating about it. You need 4 Counter Gain. But yeah, I really do think this deck struggles with, you know, the current meta and everything, and I just don't think the meta is ideal for this card, or for this Rotom Box idea. Once Port rotates, might have a chance, but the problem is, you know, we do have, let's just say there's a certain Pokemon that I already mentioned at the beginning of this video in the decklist section that will also body this deck, i.e. Mega Greninja. So that's just something we need to be aware of. But anyway, I'm going to leave it all to it for today. I really hope you enjoyed the Rotom Box Post Rotation Edition, and I'll see you next time.